going on, Vintage Gamers? Off-stream Vintage League video here. There will probably be a few of these as I try to make a little bit of a backlog so that while I'm at the paper events of Four Seasons and Eternal Weekend, I will still be able to put out the 3 weekly videos that I have promised. So I'm going to try to make some league content in the off-stream hours that I can find some time to do. So tonight we have, well, not a Brothers War brew, but a deck that popped up just as the Brothers War was put onto Magic Online. This is a brew from everyone's favorite Zeus. It is a KCI deck, but it is a aggro KCI deck. So the way it was explained in the Discord is that this deck is actually Plan A for the beatdown, and then it does happen to have the Ironworks stuff instead of, things like aggro shops would normally play a Sphere of Resistance and then that kind of thing. So we are playing a blue splash of an aggro deck, and the main combination here is that 2 tops that are reduced by Foundry Inspector. That's infinite power on your Patchwork Automaton. You still have access to things like the Ironworks Trawler loops, and some of those loops could maybe be easier with a Foundry Inspector in play. I assume this deck is a fantastic Mystic Forge deck with a Foundry Inspector and 4 tops. We are going to do, a slight blue splash just for the power and power adjacent Ancestral, Time Walk, and Tinker. We are going to do this off of kind of a risky looking 4 islands, 1 Tolarian, 1 Sapphire, 1 Lotus. I'm interested to see how that plays out. I know that my KCI decks typically play something like 4 Opal, 4 Star to facilitate 3 blue cards plus 4 Thought Monitor. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And you probably noticed this list does not contain KCI. Not KCI. It definitely has KCI. It does not contain Urza's Saga. I asked if this was on purpose, and the creator of the deck said yes. Urza's Saga has been too slow and doesn't really do what they wanted it to do. So we have 4 islands instead. If I were to build this list, I would think I would be playing Saga or Wasteland. But it's a little weird because you don't want to play Sphere because you are an artifact combo deck that wants things reduced, not increased. So things get a little weird. You do see the Trinisphere and the Strip Mine has like major powerful ways to interact. Chalice, Strip Mine, God Pharaoh statue. But you don't see the 4 Wastelands or the Sphere of Resistances and that kind of thing. So we'll have to see how it plays out. We just need to keep in mind that we are going for kind of looking for aggressive combo-oriented aggro draws, and that is the line we're going to be going for. Looks like mostly we have a Karn board, a bunch of Graveyard Hate, and then some ways to kill the Collector Roof. And then I made some slight changes. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure I put a Sphinx in the sideboard just because I would like to have the option to tinker for Sphinx in those matchups post-board. I think that's all I really want to say. I did put a Might Stone in just because I really like this card. It tested really well in some of my other videos. So I'm going to try playing a Might Stone as well. And then the final note is, yes, Scrap Trawler is currently blue on Magic Online. Yes. You can pitch it to Force of Will, and it will die to a Pyroblast. No, this is not intended. For whatever reason, when the newest patch hit, Scrap Trawler has been coded as blue. I don't know why. No one knows why. It's slated to get fixed at some point. We will see when that happens. For now, I recommend not pitching it to Force of Will and not killing it with Pyroblast, because that would be, abusing the bug. Good thing it's not a bug. It's a construct. See you in round 1. If you'd like to see your deck played on this channel, check out the Patreon link in the description below, where you can find all the information you need to submit a donation deck list. Let's battle. All right, here we go. Round 1 with our KCI deck. This hand represents an extremely solid KCI draw, so we're definitely going to keep it. I'm going to have to get used to this Foundry Inspector looking like that. It is definitely interesting looking. I like it. I'm just it feels like it looks, what does the normal one look like? I feel like the normal one, looks really different. I just looked up Foundry, which has got to be the worst, the worst possible, one of the worst Google searches of my life. Okay, so I think the thing that I'm really not, the thing I'm really missing is it's so red. It's just extremely, it's very bright red and brassy, where this is, the schematic. So, okay, it's fine. Well, moving on. That we just, it's a Foundry Inspector. Okay, Island Go. Does that mean we're getting Ancestral in our upkeep? My opponent did mull to 5, so that would be kind of likely off of the power of the London Mulligan. No, it didn't happen. Okay, interesting. Let's go with Pearl and an Inspector. And then this is not a Scrap Trawler, which I need to keep in mind. Would I like to go, well, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is Lotus and play my Ironworks. I think this is just good use of mana, and if my opponent has counters, they have counters. I think that's okay. Let's get this Wellspring going. And depending on what we hit off this Wellspring, we could even be able to play this God Pharaoh statue. Right now, I need to hit like a Moxen to do so. All right, so I just kind of bricked there. I drew 2 lands. I guess the good news is that we can play a statue next turn. The bad news is obviously we just kind of didn't do anything there. I still think I would rather play all the stuff than not play this stuff. The upside is like if my opponent countered an Ironworks, then maybe it was, more likely for my statue to resolve, which is much more important than the Ironworks here, probably. We're playing against, Underground Sea deck, some kind of combo deck. If I were to pay 2 mana for this Foundry Inspector, I would have 3 mana left over, and my God Pharaoh statue would cost 4. I don't feel like I'm going to sack anything, so I'm just going to cast this for 5. My opponent has conceded, so I'm not exactly what they kept in their 5-card hand. I don't know if they're on Doomsday or to be on Tinker or to be like. There's actually a really cool blue-black Tinker deck running around with Shieldreds. I'm going to assume that Wastelands. God, I don't know. What are these Wastelands boarded in? Do you think they're just boarded in for Bazaar? I should have asked Zeus before I played this league. Do you think these only come in for Bazaar, or do they come in for Saga? Like, we shouldn't really care about Saga, right? I don't know if we're going to board in any Magic cards. Like, blue-black. The Chalice on the draw, maybe not as good. Maybe we'll bring in a Wasteland. I mean, if they're Doomsday, we really don't have much at all, right? I think we'll still keep Trinisphere, though. Let's try this. Let's just switch out the Chalice on the draw, grab a Wasteland. Not that I think Wasteland is better on the draw, but... Ooh, excuse me. Yeah. I would think maybe it was Doomsday and they kept a hand that was like Doomsday with no Dark Ritual, trying to draw into Dark Ritual, maybe? I don't know. They mulliganed, obviously, but they kept a 5, so it's really hard to say what that means. I just don't know. I should see if they're around, if they can answer. Let's just do that. I'm gonna ping at Zeus and ask when when do Wastelands come in? Only Czar? Okay, so what do I have in this hand? This hand is an aggro start, but it's a really kind of a bad aggro start. There's nothing like powerful about this start. I kind of just want to mulligan it. This start is kind of bad as well. This start really needed an Arcbound Ravager. I'm probably still keeping this start, but I think this start really wants an Arcbound Ravager. Again, Okay, so this means it's likely to be some kind of Saga Tinker deck. Okay, I'm happy to draw a land there. I think what I'd like to do is... Ooh, maybe I was supposed to play Patchwork first. I guess I can still do that. Yeah, we'll go Patchwork into a Sapphire Trawler. Forgot we were trying to maximize our patchworking here. Maybe they're thinking about forcing. They're not thinking about forcing. Okay. My opponent is playing Saga. Okay. So now we'll find out how good we are at beating Saga. I would assume reasonably good. Workshop is a kind of a nice one here. It's going to give us a lot of room. Going to use my Workshop mana just in case I hit, I don't know, Ancestral Time Walk or something like that. Another snow-covered island. So this Sensei's Top should be able to get us a lot of automaton triggers. Let's see what we find here. Looking for a sack outlet. Can't use this strip mine this turn. Could use it next turn. I'm interested in all of this nonsense. So if we just get to our next turn normally, how do we want to sequence this? Because I think I want to activate my top. Maybe I don't. What I might do is put Strip Mine above Ravager, naturally draw Strip Mine, and then... No, I really want... It's weird because I was thinking I was going to activate my top in my upkeep so that I could always play a top and make my automaton bigger. However, I would really like to be able to eat my Sapphire with my Ravager and then eat my top with my Ravager and then eat my Wellspring and bring back my top. I think I am just going to go Ravager on top and go for the Hail Mary play. Kind of seems like the best play. If my opponent is going to like try to lean on this Saga, I think that's great for us. If my opponent Tinker kills us, then it's bad for us. Saga, I don't know. I'm not sure that's enough here. Oh. Well, that's bad. They took the damage. Okay. All right. Don't know how... Oh, maybe I should have turned around and gotten the strip mine. I guess we can still get the strip mine. Is this just going to time walk? Okay. Oh, we don't really have any counterplay, so... I haven't been watching. What happened, chat? Oh no, there's no chat to tell me what happened. God damn it. Okay, so what happened? My opponent got a Black Lotus, and they Gataxian probed me, and they know my entire hand anyways, because they put it all back in my hand. And now they're going to crack their Black Lotus for blue mana, and do what? Demonic? Tinker? Yogwill, okay. Yogwill into Probe, Saga, Walk. Okay, not bad. There's a little bit of wheel spinning. I mean, okay. Unless they have a Tinker, obviously. That would be bad. All right, so it was just a really solid value will. Okay, so they have a Shieldred. That's really good against my deck. Okay, that's really, really strong against my drawing cards deck here. Also helps them with their life total issue. They did find a Moxen and a land. All right, so I didn't board in the Might Stone or a Dismember, and maybe I should have, given that I thought they might be. I don't know. It just feels weird to bring in the Might Stone or Dismember if my opponent is going to be Doomsday. But now that I know that they have Hull Breachers and stuff like that, maybe things change. So I don't get to draw many cards here. I also don't have any cost reducing things, so that's challenging as well. The good news is I can play everything. So if I go Scrap Trawler, Ravager, and then go Island Top, and then I can bring back Lotus. Oh, they just have Force too. Okay. I think this is really going to be hard for me to win. Now they're going to have 2 large construct tokens. I'm going to take 4 plus 8, 6. All right, I'm going to concede here. I don't think this is winnable now. I am going to bring in just a Might Stone. I think this is the nice part about the Might Stone is that it doesn't have to be a dead removal spell. Yeah, it can act as a draw spell if I needed to. So let's put the Might Stone in. We're definitely going to bring Chalice back in. I'm not really convinced I need Wasteland. The card that beat me wasn't really Saga. It was Hercules into crazy restricted crazy restricted Tinker cards. So not super worried about that avenue. I have no idea what you're supposed to trim in this kind of situation because all of our cards are basically 4 ofs. Maybe we trim a combo card, Ironworks. I think it's okay to keep a strip mine though. It seems like it's pretty reasonable. Twitter is a mess right now, for anyone wondering. People are putting out polls to ask if they're better than other players at Magic, and it is a mess. Lots of people are saying lots of funny things. Magic Twitter is normally fairly entertaining. I can't lie. Sometimes it's a bit much, but sometimes it's the good funnies. All right, well, I don't know what we're waiting on. They're trying to figure out what kind of shops deck we are. If we have KCI and Patchwork Automaton and fair enough. Chalice is a weird one, but I guess when you're not, I mean, we can always sack our Chalice. I'm just looking at this deck. It looks just so fun. You see this deck list and you're like, all right, let's battle. I hope that in the stream we get to do the tops, the dueling tops, where we have 2 tops and a Foundry Inspector and a Patchwork Automaton. I would love to make that the start of this video. Just go crazy. All right, opponent is utilizing their clock to the full advantage as we move now into game 3. All right, game 3. I'm on the play. I have 3 ball. Cool. Keep. I mean, this is you got the force. If not, it's gonna be a bad time. I mean, we don't have a threat, so it's not the best 3 ball of all time, right? But we can spin and find one. So see what AFX has for us here. I'm kind of interested in what they decided to choose to play in game 1. What they could choose to keep. Why, Justin? English, please. Okay. Anyways, mulling to 6. Opponent is. And they keep 6. And they have a ley line. Ah, you know, it's kind of annoying, but I think in general I'm okay with them wasting a card for a ley line. I think my deck has enough alternative ways to win with its Patchwork Automatons that a ley line is not the end of the world. See if they kept the Force of Will in their hand. Any Force of Wills? Nope. All right. So we're cooking. We just need to find a clock before our opponent activates the manas. They might just concede. Oh, they have no mana leyline. See, opponent, that is a misevaluation of what is going on here. I guess they could also, I mean, if they had Saga, they would play Saga, right? Oh my. Okay. Foundry Inspector, not exactly a helpful magic card here. But if we organize this, I mean, we can't play more than one spell because I chose to tap my Emerald, which in hindsight does seem like a misplay. Because if I had at least not done this, I would have been able to play 2 spells through my Trinisphere. I think the best thing to do is to just get the Inspector in play and start beating down. Yeah, so unfortunately this is not gonna work super well for me with the Trinisphere, but I probably will pay. Okay, so they do have a land, but they can't cast anything till they have 3. I probably will try to order this, even though it costs me some life. I will go. I guess we need to put Forge. So now the good news is the Forge will only cost 3, so that is a little bit of an upside. So now we go 3 mana for our Forge. And then 3 mana for our Ravager. And then we will get rid of this top card. And then there is another one, but we can't do anything else. So what we can do is play our island and spin our top and see if there's anything better. So yeah, we'll just make sure we draw this island for turn, and then we'll God Pharaoh statue them. That way, I mean, God Pharaoh statue doesn't really solve all of my problems, but it certainly makes Hercules cost 4, which is definitely better than Hercules costing 3. Because currently we're not really pushing very hard towards a win. I can start sacking things, but I was thinking next turn we draw, we play our statue for 6, and then maybe we get rid of the other Ravage. I'm not really sure. It's really annoying because, like, I don't want to eat this Wellspring because I won't draw. I mean, I think our clock will be fast enough. I can always eat a bunch of things with this Ravager. I do think that I probably made a mistake in not spinning on the first turn because I would have always had 6 mana. So between Wellspring and the top of the deck, I'm pretty likely to have 2 3-drops to play. So I'll take it. That's a W. All right, we got a duel versus Andy here. If you haven't checked out Montolio's YouTube channel yet, you should. Making high-level content and a variety of decks that I typically don't consider myself to be super strong at. So definitely check out. I'll put a link to their YouTube channel in the comment or the description of this video. One of the only other people right now making YouTube videos that are for vintage. So definitely keep an eye out for those. I know they've been trying mono white initiative. Initiative, I think that's what it's called. Mono white initiative. Yeah, it's the dungeon stompy. My opponent does have a Gigantha though, so maybe we're thinking Golos shops now. I'm still gonna keep this. Trinisphere will not be as good if my opponent is not on shops, but still probably worth playing. I think what I'm gonna do is go Patchwork, top, Lotus, Trinisphere. I need to yield all to that one. Maybe I'll just go Time Walk, actually. Don't think that really hurts me. Can I get a spin? Ancestral. Okay. We can Ancestral into 3-ball. I think I'd like that. I do think my opponent is probably on Golos, but maybe this is a good bait. Okay. So I don't know anything about the top card that I'm drawing. If I do draw a... Okay, they are on Workshop, so this 3-ball is a little less effective, but it's still on the play. You know, they can't play any of their, you know, a ton of their Moxen or anything like that. Let's see what they choose to do. Yeah, so it's a 5-color Shops deck. Okay. Do I want to spin in my upkeep? If I draw an Ancient Tomb or a Workshop, I will be able to play Trawler. I think it's fine to spin then. I found another Workshop. Yeah, I'm going to keep Workshop here. And then I'm just going to play double Trawler because that's the best clock. And then next turn after, I can like draw with my top on my upkeep. It's a pretty quick clock here. Actually, this is already lethal. So my opponent does have to play a Golos or something on this board. All right, they do have a million mana. They have like a Wormcoil or something that could be pretty problematic. They have a Golos. Okay. I am going to make it so that this Patchwork is... Oh. I guess that is annoying. But this Patchwork should be good enough. Yeah, this is just fine, I guess. All I can get back is Black Lotus, unfortunately. But it's better than nothing. Have to pay for this. Let's draw this. Chalice Foundry Inspector. Yeah, I think we should just draw into Foundry Inspector. That'll give me another threat. I can still pay for both. This way, I have lethal attack with 2 attackers next turn. Okay. Gonna let that... I mean, I guess in this case, even if I get strip mine, I still have a lethal Patchwork attacker. This is still good for me. It's probably bad for them to have to pay for the Pilgrim. This Patchwork has been very large and very in charge. Though I guess we did cast Ancestral, Time Walk, Black Lotus, and Trinisphere this game. Might be a Luxac. So this Patchwork... So my evaluation of Patchwork was, I think, a little off. When I initially reviewed Patchwork, I didn't think it would have... I thought it would be kind of clunky and hard to use. But since then, I've been pretty impressed with it in a variety of aggro shop shells. And it's just kind of annoying. Like, the ward ability is very relevant. Having to pay 2 to kill it with things like Vigor and an extra 2 for swords and stuff makes it really annoying to kill. Uh-oh. So my opponent has a second Golos. I assume that's what this means. Oh, this is a hard cast Sphinx. Okay. I mean, impressive. Very impressive. The bad news for me is that I don't have lethal. I mean, I have lethal, but I won't win. And then they're going to start making saga tokens. So things are going to get annoying here very quickly. I think we just pay for everything and then play top. Do we remember what was underneath? I don't remember what was underneath. Don't think it matters. Just drawing it. Chalice. So I could pay for a chalice on a different number. I don't think I want to. Think I'll just pay a chalice on. I have no idea how to do this. Think I did it on 1. Well, huh. Okay. Now my sensei stop is going to get countered. I tried to do it for 0. All right. Well, I think this is going to lose me the game. Magic Online is a skill-oriented game. Is it because it got cost reduced? No, that doesn't make sense. I don't know what I needed to do there to get it to play a chalice on 0. I should be able to, right? I cast it where the 0 and 0, and then I pay 3 for my 3-ball. I don't know. So my opponent doesn't even have to block with their... Oh boy. They don't even have to block with their Saga token because I don't have lethal on the table anymore because they had to chump block with their Sphinx and that gained them 6 life. I think I'm currently losing this game. I wonder if I should have played around Golos for Tabernacle. Probably not. I mean, I do still have an 11/11 Patchwork Automaton, which is basically the Abyss. They did hit their strip mine for my basic. The good news here is that because this is not a Urza Saga, I am not in, critical danger of being wastelanded out of this game. But all right, well, the bad news is I no longer can resolve my Sensei's top, which means my Patchwork Automaton is not growing anymore. And that's just partially my fault. Partially, come on, Magic Online, give me an interface that makes sense. The bad news here is my opponent is not going to block, and they are going to just make constructs, and then eventually that could be problemable. Oh, no, they're just going to block. Okay. All right, and this time they're going to make a construct and then get a... I don't know. What would they get? They might get a needle or a... Maybe they just get more mana. Could get a top or something. Don't know. Really wish this was not a chalice on 1. We can get out of this by drawing an Arcbound Ravager, which is nice. So they did get a 1-drop. Smart. Now you can't draw the 1-drop. They still have about 1 million mana, and if they ever get a second Golos, they should be able to activate it, which would be pretty cool. Or I guess they're one color. No, now they have enough to activate a Golos if they find another Golos. The bad news is, again, I'm still on a 2-turn clock here. That is so much mana. I am very worried about our continued existence in this game. Okay, you're gonna get a Gigantha. All right, they can't play. Oh, they can play the Gigantha this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, okay. It's a big clock, unfortunately. Like, they can pay for both of these, swing for 9. I go to 11. Things are annoying. So here comes Gigantha. This will be red, and this will be colorless. And then there's a Gigantha. Okay. I think Gigantha is currently bugged, where you can't actually use the mana. Not that you can use it on many things in shops anyways, but... All right. I would like to draw... I think I'm supposed to know what I'm drawing, but I can't remember. Oh, right. Emerald. All right. Well, at least I didn't name Emerald or name 0, and then my Emerald's countered, right? Right. I still need to make this attack. Sitting back doesn't look good. They're just going to chump. Okay. I wonder if there's a possibility that they can make like not block there, and then I guess this the Golos ability is not as good when I have a 3-ball in play, but they do have enough mana that maybe it's fine. They have 3 cards in hand. I mean, if they just run out of creatures, this Patchwork Automaton will eventually kill my opponent. A Karn the Great Creator. Well, I can't cast that one with my triple workshop draw. So I'm just going to swing again with this 12-12. I don't know if they'll choose to not block at this point. It doesn't, the way they've played the whole game doesn't make sense for them to not block. The good news for them is this is not lethal because of the Sphinx lifelink. The bad news is they do need to draw something. I mean, if they draw a Golos, that gives them an Urza Saga, and that's pretty good. Oh, they drew a Demonic Tutor. Well, that's bad. I assume this will be a Golos then, because what else are you going to really do here? Golos for Saga makes a lot of sense. Maybe if I draw the Mightstone. Oh, I don't have that in the main, right? The Mightstone would be such a good draw against Golos. I guess it doesn't even matter, though, because, again, I don't have a lethal. I almost wonder if this deck should be playing... I like the idea of maybe playing Saga, and that way you can play Manifold Key to get these things in. I think that'd be pretty cool. But I would, of course, be under scrutiny. Oh, no. Oh, God, this Emerald's actually going to save me. Because my opponent could go Crucible of Worlds, bring back Strip Mine my snow-covered island. That would be pretty crazy. So I think instead they're going to go Golos. Yeah, and I think this Golos will find an Urza Saga, which should keep them safe for a while. That's my expectation. I guess I could theoretically get an Inventor's Fair as well. Because they're not currently dead on board. An Inventor's Fair might work out pretty well. They're pretty far from doing like crazy things. This is 2, yeah, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they could maybe play a spell off of a Golos, but still pretty good. I really screwed myself by playing this on 1. It's actually funny because if I had played it on 0, I might have lost this game to a Strip Mine and a Tabernacle killing me. But I also would have had a 16-16 at Patchwork at this point, right? So what do I want to draw? That's exactly what I want to draw. Give me an Arcbound Ravager. And that is going to let me eat this Chalice. That is going to let me play a top. And then I can spin this top. And now my Patchwork is automatically lethal. Interesting. So what I'll do is... Oh, they still have a Tabernacle in play. I wonder if I just eat this Trinisphere next turn and go for Ironworks. Can I win this with Ironworks, though? I don't really have a great Ironworks straw. I think what I'll do is I'll leave... I'll just go for Wellspring right now. And that almost made my Patchwork Automaton lethal by itself. It will be lethal by itself next turn, but it doesn't matter too much. Okay. So this has to get chumped. And then they have a Saga token. This is an interesting game. What did they just play? The fourth workshop? Okay. There's a lot of mana. Goblin Welder. Well, that is going to be an issue. That is going to be a problem. I really wish I had a manifold key in this game. I can get a Karn next turn. No. I can get a Karn and get a Mightstone, maybe. Needle. So I think what I'm gonna do now is sack the Wellspring. Oh, I didn't need to sack the Wellspring. That was stupid. I just wanted to sack this Trinisphere. Do I want to keep in play this Ravager? I should have kept the Wellspring in play. That was wrong. Yeah. They might name top. So the thing I'm super worried about, I should not have sacked this Wellspring because I needed it for mana. So they did name top. That's good because that means I can maybe make 2 lethal attackers this turn somehow. I think I'm just gonna keep both of these in play. Okay, so I'm gonna go Automaton. Oh, I guess that doesn't do anything. Automaton into Ironworks. Can't use this top at all, but at least it makes some mana. So then I can sack Emerald and sack top and get a Karn. So I have currently 2 mana. I could just needle Welder or Saga. I guess I have to needle Welder, and they just chump with Welder. I could sack... I could sack Automaton and Arcbound Ravager and get a Mightstone, Mightstoning the Welder and attacking. None of these are, like, great, but all of them are good. I guess I could also go for Lattice and just Lattice lock my opponent here. That's probably enough. Just... Yeah. I just lattice lock my opponent. And then they have to sack everything because they can't make mana. And then I attack with a 23-23. Oh my gosh, that was a game of Magic the Gathering. Okay. That that was something. That was something for sure. I'm gonna bring in Wastelands. That's what I've been told to do by Zeus. And I'm gonna bring in a Mightstone maybe. And then on the draw, I will take out Chalice and Trinosphere and Statue. And Lodestone Golem doesn't really feel like it does that much. My opponent will get access to Hurkyl's Recall, which is going to be problems. I think I will just take out a... I have no idea. I think I'll just take out a Time Walk. I don't know. Try that. All right, I'm happy we can win the game where I chalice myself. I guess the cool part about doing these off-stream ones is that I can go make food after this game match. And I don't have to... I can come back later. Go back the next day. It is less fun, though. I definitely enjoy making the content live on stream, because I think I mean, as much as we get on the chat about being bad, they do make it more entertaining, and I feel like I learn more things. It's just hard to always commit, because when I stream, right, I have to commit, 3 hours or something and it's not always easy to have 3 hours after work. Maybe we'll have to see. Like I said, the weekends coming up are going to be crazy, because it's not, one day, Magic tournaments. It's fly out on a, Wednesday night to get to Italy, and then come back on a, come back on Monday night. And so that's, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all gone. I won't be able to stream on Saturday. Won't be able to make a video on Wednesday. And then I come right back, and then it's work a couple days, and then go to Pennsylvania for BW. Yeah, this looks like quite a strong trawler hand. It's not a great trawler hand because I don't have a 1-drop. That's the thing I'm super worried about in this list compared to normal KCI, is that you don't have any chromatic stars, so you're drastically reducing your combo elements. You do have 4 tops, which definitely it makes up for it. But I feel like you got a lot more 1-drops in the other KCI deck. And maybe now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that's wrong. Yeah, so I have, of the 1-drops that draw cards in this deck, there are 7 instead of 4. So maybe it's not a huge difference. Maybe I'm just wrong about that. My opponent has mulled to 5. I mean, this hand is definitely a little on the risky side against shops, but I feel like it's powerful enough that I'm going to keep it. I don't really have Hurkyl's of my own, and maybe this deck should have Hurkyl's of its own. I could definitely see that. Just gonna play out my Moxen. Obviously, this gets punished by Revoker, but I'm gonna wait and try to get an Inspector in play. Traditionally, the spheres are the things that come out in a shop's mirror, except for the fact that my deck is not really great at beating sphere, so it's not bad at it, but It's not great at it either. See what this is. This is another sphere. Oh, it is a Revoker on Black Lotus. That is super unfortunate. That has got to be the absolute best possible card my opponent can have there. Not much I can do about it. Hope to draw a land. I did draw a land, so that was a good thing. Let's get an Inspector going. That was my best draw, probably, besides Workshop. Workshop's my best draw. This is my second best draw. Let's see what my opponent has. 4 mana. Okay, so they're not overwhelming me here with Soul Lands. I think I would not trade here, even though it would mean unlocking my Lotus. See if this is another sphere. Oh, it's a Bi-Force. Good God. Okay. Yep. Yeah, that's the power of the many color splash for sure. I'm just gonna Ravager in here. Can't play an Inspector anyways. This one I would trade. They're down to 2 cards. Oh, they're using a lot of life. Had to use 2 mana, 2 life for the Tomb, 1 life for the Spire before. Here's another. Oh, Ancestral. Ah, yes. Okay. That's a good one. I guess I had an Ancestral last game, so fair enough. 4 cards in hand now. I assume they hit a land or some Moxen or something. Okay, yeah, they hit a Workshop. That's about the worst case scenario, because now they can Golos us out of the game on the next turn. I do think a Golos would be pretty backbreaking here. I think if we're going to play this many blue sources, we should put some Hercles in our sideboard. I don't know. I don't know if that would matter very much. Maybe it's kind of irrelevant. I don't know. I just feel like you want to be able to beat a sphere and combo, but maybe you don't need to. All right, they're not going to attack. I need a land. I did hit a land, so yeah, I'm not. There's no point in wastelanding them at this point. They are so far behind. I need the mana way more, or they have so far ahead on mana. I need it way more. Definitely going to get this in play. That way we have some solid options. Like, I think we can beat a Golos this turn if we untap. Everything costs normal now, because I have an Inspector. Here's the Golos. I figured they had a Golos in their hand and they were waiting on mana. This has got to be a Saga or maybe a Wasteland. Strip Mine. I guess it could be a Tabernacle. That would be kind of annoying in the current board state. I guess that would be really annoying in the current board state. I didn't really realize that. I do have a Wasteland, though, so it kind of doesn't make a huge amount of sense. It buys them a whole turn, but what are you buying your turn into? So they did go for Tabernacle. That's not a good sign. That's also not a good sign, whatever they're doing now. It's interesting that these Tabernacles have been annoying. I guess our deck doesn't make a lot of mana. All right, this looks like another blue. Is this Tinker? Or is it Bi-Force? Oh, it's just Giganta. Okay. Okay, well, I think I need to just pay for everything this turn and then maybe Wasteland on the next turn. The problem with Wasteland is I need to hit mana so I can play my Ironworks. Like, I need to draw. I was gonna say I need to draw my own. Maybe I don't now. Maybe now I can actually just play a Scrap Trawler and do some blocking. Get back Ruby and Lotus. I can't really afford to block with... I guess I can afford to block with a Scrap Trawler. Get back Ravager and Ruby. What is this? Oh, they're activating their Golos. We'll see if that lets them do that. Okay, so their Golos, all of these things do cost 1. They hit a Sapphire, a Saga, and a Workshop. So I guess technically the lands do not cost 1. So the Sapphire will cost 1, and the Saga will be free. The Saga is definitely good here. The bad news for my opponent is they are currently at 5, and I have 4 artifacts in play, which means they kind of need to play a creature here, or they're okay. Well, that's upsetting. Yeah, Revoker is really good here because it turns off my Ravager. I think. Yeah, named Ravager. They have another creature? Oh, a welder. Good God. Okay. So I don't have any good attacks now. I paying for the Ravager would be silly. So let's just take 2 and pay for the first 2. And we're gonna have to try to combo this turn somehow. We do need to keep our Inspector and our Trawler in play. Will not prevent this. I will return Ruby, and I will modular onto Inspector, I guess. This would be a great way to like go Manifold Key, kill my opponent. But okay. Unfortunately, I have zero draw spells. So I don't actually think any of this gets us anywhere. The good news is we can kind of play around this welder a little bit. I have double trawler. If I sack 1 trawler, I can get back Ruby Ravager. Does that help me? I could sack my Ironworks and get back Inspector Ruby, but I need my Ironworks to beat this welder. I think I just pass. This attack looks bad, right? They just block with double, and nothing I get back is... Well, I get back Ravager Ruby. And then... Oh, but then everything costs 1 more, so I can't actually make that work out. Okay, so I'm gonna just pass, I guess. Don't think I'm winning this game. If I had to make an assumption, pick a side, this looks really bad for me. I know they have 0 cards in hand, but they have a bit of an attacking force now, and they have a Urza Saga going. They are at a low life total, which is nice, but my opponent is considering dropping the Black Lotus. Interesting. All right, that does make my life more easy. I have more mana, but I don't have... Oh yeah, I guess they still have Golos. I guess that's why... Interesting, they're going to choose to... Interesting, okay. They did hit a Karn, which they can't cast, an Emery, which they can't cast, and a Wasteland, which they can play. Oh no, they can cast the Karn because this lets them pay them for free. So they have to tap this Ancient Tomb to go to 2 and play a Karn, and I mean, that's got to be lethal, right? I don't really have a great attack. Oh no, now they can play the Wasteland and then play the Karn. That's got to be really bad for me. Okay, what I'll do is I will sacrifice my Car Clan Ironworks. And I will bring back Boundary Inspector and Arcbound Ravager. The problem is I have never killed the stupid Tabernacle. Maybe I had an opportunity at some point to do so. I guess this is just too many creatures, even though all my creatures are lethal. That is frustrating. They just get their own lattice. Okay. So both of these games end with lattice. My opponent has a lot higher power level deck than me. Which is, I mean, not higher. It's not true. Like, I have some early patchwork kills that could happen. I'm definitely not bringing it. I'll bring Chalice back in on the play. Even that, yeah, I think bring Chalice back in on the play. And then, I still think I like Mightstone. I think I'll take one Cart Clan out. Go with this. Don't really think, like, I don't think I want to bring in Dismember, so, like, they do have Welder, but I think it's probably, like, one Welder, one Emery. Like, I don't think it's, like, a ton of them. I don't think I want to bring in just a removal spell. I mean, they do have Revokers, I guess. Revoker hitting Ravager and top is really annoying. So maybe I can bring in, maybe I'll just trim. Should have cut this Tinker. I just don't, well, I guess I have Island. I don't know. I just don't know if that's the way I want to really play this game. I think I just want to try to get an Automaton in there. I think that's the play. So I do have a bunch of removal this time. Maybe that's the line. I don't know. I don't know for sure. Okay. So we're looking for really like a fast automaton kill or something. This is just needs a Mishra's Workshop. Let's try again. This one has a Mishra's Workshop. It's a keeper. I think we just go turn 1 Forge. And then we just get rid of this Snow Covered. I don't know if there was like an Inspector line somehow, but I wonder if we don't want this Soul Ring does technically represent some mana. I guess we can decide later. See what our opponent starts with here. If they start with a Wasteland, it gets more inviting. I do kind of want to draw a land with my Mystic Forge here. So I might get rid of this Soul Ring and try to find a land with my 2 activations of Forge. 2 mana. Emery, that's super fine. Don't care about Emery. Let's see, Null Rod in the side. Okay, no Null Rod. Yeah, I think even though I like Soul Ring, I think I would rather try to find a land. Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. All right, so now I have Infinite, right? I have Inspector top. Yeah, puts the top on top, plays the top, and then we have now gone Infinite, really. That's crazy. Wonder if I could have played Inspector on turn 1 and it was better. I didn't include, I do have a 3-ball, so I guess I can draw it to 3-ball. All right, yeah, there's a Patchwork. I don't think I want a Chalice. So now I have an infinite thing. And my opponent has explained the combo and scooped. So that was a perfect, a brilliant showing of one of the reasons why Mystic Forge is restricted. Even without 4 Karns, this card is absurd in combination with things like Top and Inspector. You have a very like Citadel style go off plan here. And this is just winning, right? So if you think you put a deck with 4 Forges, 4 Workshops, 4 Inspectors, and 4 Tops, things get broken very quickly. I'll take that W. Montoliu is a strong wizard, and we've had some pretty crazy matches in this one. So, see you for round 3. All right. Greetings, this future Justin, who has successfully sustained himself with yet another meal. I don't know why I'm saying that like it deserves praise. But we're playing Magic, and we are still playing aggro KCI, I guess is probably what we're gonna end up calling this video. Aggro KCI. This hand looks kind of bad to me. Doesn't feel like it does enough things. So I'm just gonna mulligan. This hand doesn't look great to me, but I do feel like it does have things, which are just great explanations that I'm sure YouTube watchers in the future will just enjoy and just be so thankful for. Yeah. I mean, it's not a great hand, but it is a hand. Okay, we're looking at a breach, maybe. Probably breach. Okay, maybe not. Maybe Grixis Tinker Saga, which is like breach, except with 2 different cards or 3 different cards in it. Okay, I still don't think that I wanted to keep that first hand. This hand does look stronger. Something like a Black Lotus. Mystic Forge, okay. I do think I am going to deploy the 3-mana land in case I draw another 3-mana land, even though it does not play Karn. I actually don't think I'm going to play the Patchwork Automaton. I think I'm going to use my mana more efficiently. So I'm hoping for like a Moxen draw, which puts me to 6 mana, so I can go like Patchwork, Ironworks, sack stuff, play cards. Maybe I'll have to just go, Mystic Forge, get countered, be sad. My opponent can obviously tinker and win the game, which is always a problem. But yeah, maybe we just don't have a very Moxen heavy hand. We have a needle. What will this needle do? That should be an interesting question. What will this needle name? Good luck, opponent. I don't think they're going to name Sensei's top. Maybe they'll name Wasteland, but if they know about my KCI videos, they probably won't name Wasteland. Maybe they will name Mishra's Research Station. Maybe they'll go to my YouTube channel and check out the video containing Mishra's Workshop Station KCI. No, it's still not Mishra's. It's still not Station, Justin. It's a desk. It's a desk. It's not. Oh, it's a desk. They named Mystic Forge, which is accurately the card in my hand. Good job, opponent. Whether or not I think that's a correct name, we'll see. Ancestral Recall has been called. All right. What do we got? If it's a second... Okay, that's a perfect draw. A great draw. An absolutely fantastic draw. I have 6 mana. I would like to go Automaton, Mana Vault, Karn. Or I could have... Sorry, I have 7 mana. This is plus 2 mana. Or I could go Mana Vault, I mean, I think I still... Maybe I go KCI instead of Karn. Patchwork Automaton. Mana Vault. The problem is if I tap the Mana Vault, I can no longer play Karn. So I am going to play Karn. And if they don't have a force, it's really bad for them. really bad for them. They do have an Ancestral, so it's not terribly bad for them. I am considering getting a Needle on Saga. I don't really like that play, though, but I also think it's good for me to get something here. So I'm going to do it. So I don't really think I need a Tormod's Crypt. It should be hard for them to breach combo me. No, oh, I don't need to name. I don't need to name top. Yeah, I'm just gonna name Urza's Saga. Yeah. And now I am in I would say a commanding position. My opponent has an Ancestral, but they have a Vanishing Saga. I just exposed myself to Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Should have just plussed. Every time I activate Karn and expose it to Lightning Bolt, I just don't realize anything until I see the number 3 on my screen. And then I get sad. Okay, well, it's not getting Lightning Bolted this turn. And we aren't currently at the Lattice Mana, but we could be at the Lattice Mana using our Ironworks. Kind of wish I had a top in my Karn board. Maybe that's silly. Well, I am going to make them have a Force. Because I have Lattice Mana now. I guess I could have gone KCI 2 mana, 4 mana, 6 mana. I guess it's probably better for me to go KCI plus go KCI first. And if that doesn't get countered, then sack Mana Vault and sack Needle and then go for Lattice. That way it's better. If I get that way, like I can bait a Force on my KCI, and I could still then I can plus my Karn, get it above 3, and still Lattice the next turn. So yeah, probably a slight mistake. Do we care about? I think I want the ability to kill a Hull Breacher. But I don't know what else I want to do. Chalice on the draw? I feel like Chalice on the draw. Sure, let's try that. The Chalice is like still fine against Breach, you know? Black Lotus, Magic the Gathering card. I just don't know if that's good enough. Kind of don't feel like it. This hand has Patchwork Automatons. A Strip Mine. I'm willing to try. I don't know if this is good. It's pretty bad against Hurkyl's Recall, but it's quite good against Shattering Spree. And I think the Strip Mine could punish opponent for playing a Saga-centric hand. There are a lot of, obviously many ways you can get punished for playing a Saga-centric hand, but yeah. Okay, Volcanic. Okay, are we gonna get Tinkered and die? Yes, we are. Oh no, Time Walk. Okay, that's not getting Tinkered and dying. That's good. I like that. They are down to 3 cards after this, and then up to 4. They did lose a flip. Am I dead? Are we dying? No, we're passing. So they don't have a land. Does that make me want to Strip Mine now? Yeah. Yeah, it does. So they have an active Mana Crypt and nothing else. They can't Mystic Tutor. Oh, this is a Hull Breacher? No. Okay, they got nothing else. All right. All right, well, they have a mana crypt and no mana besides the mana crypt. And they drew a fetch land. Okay, well, you know, we don't really change very much here. Oh, unless they have a Underground Sea and a Demonic Tutor. Yeah, I mean, I play a lot of Magic. I have actually begun processing my new power of Foresight. Oh, that can't be good. Huh. That means they have maybe Breach. I mean, I'm super dead. Guess I'll play a Scrap Trawler, just utilize my mana efficiently here. Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna untap and they're gonna go Underworld Breach, Flashback Demonic Tutor, and get a Brain Freeze. I'm going to board in Chalice on the play and maybe Soul Guide Lantern, if that's the case. I mean, it makes it seem like they drew... Yeah, okay, that's what's happening here. I was about to say, like, you wouldn't Demonic for Lotus unless you had Breach in your hand. I'm gonna make them show me that they have a Brain Freeze still in their deck. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna let them do this for a little bit, just to see what's going on a little bit more. They do have a Hercules. They do have a Bolt. I'm surprised. Do you people normally keep in freeze combo against shops? I mean, I guess I haven't demonstrated that I have spheres. So probably. I just want to see another instance of Brain Freeze. If I had Wrap Trap, they would already have lost. If I had Surgical, they would have already... Well, I don't know how the mana works out exactly, but... I just want to see more cards. I want to know what their sideboard cards are. Because I've seen Hercules, and I've seen... That's all I've seen so far is Hercules and a Bolt. And it's still a Needle in the deck. Uh-huh. I just want to see some more cards. I want to know if they Burning and Shattering Spree is like the biggest one. I don't know if it changes anything, but I just want to know it. Yeah, that's really what we're waiting on here. Opponent is building up the storm count so they don't have to do it again. Looks like they've hit the magic number though. This is 27 cards in their 28 card library. As long as these all target them, which they all do. Now I can... Oh, they changed one of these targets to me. Okay. And them, and then these are all me. So I saw an Alpine Moon, which is hilarious. Which means they think that we have Urza Saga in our deck, which we don't, because only losers play Urza Saga. I'm gonna get rid of this Mightstone. Doesn't look like that's the game plan we need to fight on. And I do think I'll bring in the lantern and leave the crypt in the board. I'm gonna take out a... What have I been boarding out? A Ravager? These Ravagers have not looked good. But maybe that's because I'm boarding them out. Okay. So my opponent has at least a Hercules Recall that we know about. And... All right. I mean, nothing really changes except for the fact that we know that they do have at least a Hercules. I think you should always play a Hercules because I can go Inspector, Soul Ring, Automaton, pass, or I could go Workshop, Automaton, Soul Ring, pass, Or I could go workshop, inspector, soul ring, scrap trawler. None of these are good though. Like these are aggro draws, but they're not very fast aggro draws. Kind of hate it. Kind of off it. Let's mulligan. If I had like a top, then maybe this hand definitely looks better. Just gonna keep this minus this ruby. And then I will go. Slam workshop, I guess. Okay. So I can sack Black Lotus and play Scrap Trawler. And then I can sack Pearl and play top. And then I can spin top and decide if there is something worth sacking top and drawing and getting Black Lotus. Not really. I could sack top, get Pearl, play Scrap Trawler. Well, let's see. I can Scrap Top, get Pearl, play Scrap Trawler, sack Scrap Trawler, get Pearl, get Lotus, get Top. Yeah, maybe I will do that. Maybe I kind of want to keep going while my opponent has no counter spells. Black Lotus and Pearl make the same amount of mana. Sack Scrap Trawler, get back Lotus, get back Top, play Top, play Lotus, spin Top. I get one new card. Hit a Patchwork Automaton. So I think I am just going to draw into the Patchwork Automaton. And I don't know, I guess. So I'll sack Pearl. Okay. So now I have a threat. Okay. So then next turn we're playing top and we're doing top things. And hopefully we'll be able to draw into some action. If we get a second top, we can make a very large automaton. What is island? I mean, they didn't have force. They could just have ancestral. They could have soul ring. Okay. And top, I assume. And key. Okay. And untap. Okay. And ruby. These are a lot of things. Okay. The problem here for Justin is we're missing, you know, top. We have a top, but we need a little bit more. We need like an anchor. Well, fuck. The good news is I get back a scrap trawler. The bad news is that enough? I don't have a top to get back right now. So yeah, okay. I will bring back a scrap trawler. This deck doesn't have like thought monitors like my KCI. They have everything. Okay. My KCI list has thought monitors, which can bring back Ironworks, which this list does not have. A bad part of this is I sacked the Pearl instead of the Black Lotus because of blue spells, which means I don't have anything to activate my top with besides this. I hit Nicker Wellspring, but I no longer have a sack outlet. I have an Ancient Tomb on top, so I can draw and play a new Scrap Trawler. I hope I put an Ancient Tomb on top. Yeah, I think that's just the best use of my mana. So the biggest problem here is I have hit my opponent for 8. And I do have lethal on the table. So that's good. So it's actually not that bad. It's a turn 3 lethal. Patchwork Automaton plus top is pretty impressive. My opponent needs to hit Tinker, Time Vault. They spun with the Ruby. Yeah, that makes sense. Hercles, Tinker, Time Vault, Hercles are the best ones. They do have the ability to get through a card using Key. See what they come up with. I guess they would need another mana source for specifically Tinker. Okay, they have a mana source. They have 1,000,000 mana. And I have lethal, so gotta come up with something here. They activated top. Okay, so they had 2 cards they wanted. Oh, and they have Tinker. Oh, they have Brain Freeze targeting themselves. They hit an Underworld Breach. What is the plan here? Oh, untap and breach, but you don't have any mana. It was a cool idea. I don't know. I feel like we had higher probability. Well, so we know what was on top. When we know my opponent had a Sensei's, well, we know they had a top because they drew something. And then we know the other 2 cards were Citadel. Yeah, okay. So maybe they had to. They couldn't go any deeper. They needed to do it. Unfortunately, this is a cast trigger, so now I have exactly lethal. Oh, unless they have a braid, I guess. So I guess I should keep going. An Ironworks is actually not good because I don't have the mana for it. I mean, I'm supposed to play this out because I need to... Oh, I have the mana for it. I'm an idiot. Okay, so I mean, I'm supposed to play this out in case my opponent has a braid, right? Okay, I need to draw the Ironworks and play the Ironworks. And then sack the Pearl, sack the Ravager, bring back Lotus, bring back... Oh, where's my top? Oh, I fucked up. I didn't sack... Oh, I didn't have a... I should have sacked the... I should have sacked the top to Ravager, and then I would have been able to bring back the top with the Scrap Trawlers. So that was a little bit of a mistake. Okay, a W. Okay. We're continuing. So far, so good. On the play. Yeah, I mean, I would like to keep it. Don't know what my opponent will be playing against, but I'm always going to slam turn 1 Karn. Obviously, I am like pretty exposed if my opponent has mental misstep or forces the Karn. God, they have mental misstep. Fuck. Okay, I didn't have mental misstep. Excuse me. I mean, I'm still pretty exposed if they do get rid of the, do have a counter for the Karn. Don't really think it makes sense to play the KCI or the Inspector, though, so. I don't know what kind of deck my opponent's on. Oh, that just resolves. Okay, that's great. I'm just going to plus, and I don't want to get bolted. And I'd like to be I mean, I don't have the mana to play like Needle on Bazaar, right? I could go -3 and play Tormod's Crypt, but that's pretty narrow in the grand scheme of things. So I think I would rather just plus and see what my opponent is first. I have a strip mine, so I do at least have an answer to Bazaar. Okay, it is... I might come to regret this, because if I had I mean, I can't Needle Bazaar, but if I put like a Tormod script in play, at least I can't get Vengemind, which I assume is what's happening here. So if I don't get like brutally murdered by a Bazaar draw, I can go Strip Mine Bazaar, play Soul Guide Lantern, and I'll be pretty safe. Oh, it's green, white, Wessel. Okay, so that's not activated, which is really, really strong against my opponent. So this turn one's really good because my opponent's not gonna be able to play a 2-drop on turn one. They do have a Stoneforge in their hand. I mean, we don't have action for what it's worth. Yeah. I'm thinking about strip mining to buy time here. Yeah, I'm gonna strip mine to buy us time. And then I'm going to go get... I wish I had like a Mox Opal in my card board. I'm gonna go get a Soul Guide Lantern so I can then cycle my Soul Guide Lantern. Probably supposed to hit my strip mine in my yard so that if my opponent is playing a Deathrite Shaman version, I can have double ways of interacting instead of this only hits opponent's graveyards. So we'll see if opponent has a second one. That's an artifact, so no. Okay, they have a Caracas, so they do have a second land. Well, need to draw something good. That does not good. Let's cycle this Soul Guide Lantern. That is not good either. I think I am just going to kill this because I don't think it makes sense to get anything else. An island lets us ancestral. A workshop lets us KCI. I assume it is good. I can always get like a Tormod script when I have KCI out as an additional 2 mana. If they have a second mana, they can play Stoneforge and everything's bad. But they didn't have a second mana, so everything is not bad yet. We hit a Sensei's Top. Okay, I mean, I'm going to play a Sensei's Top. I don't know if I'm allowed to... well, that is not the worst thing that's ever happened. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to spin on upkeep because I might need to get Needle for Stoneforge. I've missed land every turn. My opponent has missed some lands as well. I've missed land again. I don't want to, like, discourage them Stoneforging. I mean, maybe I'm supposed to just get... I think I should just do it now. Really need... I mean, obviously a workshop is the best draw, right? I just get to go off with KCI at that point. KCI into Inspector. I have lost a bunch of life from this Mana Vault as well. I drew another Patchwork Automaton. Alright. I'm gonna go get a Tormod's Crypt. In case I want to get the Sensei's Top back, I guess. I think I'm just going to pitch one of the KCIs. Don't think I need 2 of those. They have Vigor? Oh, man. That is bad. Okay, well, the good news is I can get this Emerald back if I need to using the Tormod's Crypt. I can Tormod's Crypt it and then get it with Karn at some point. Maybe I was supposed to do this earlier or something. I'm still looking for a mana. Okay, I hit a mana. This would have been pretty reasonable if I had a Mox still. Because then I could have at least played a Patchwork Automaton. Now, the good news is now I can Tormod's Crypt myself and pick up a Emerald and play a Patchwork, or I can play a Needle on Stoneforge. My opponent has missed as many land drops as I have, though, so I'm not unhappy by any means. It's been a fine... This is like, if any... Okay, yes. So I am going to go Ancestral, and I will probably overdraw, and I don't think I care. Okay. Oh, I forgot to put the emerald. I forgot to Tormod script myself. So that's bad. I forgot to Tormod script myself. Okay, well. I am going to pitch the Ancient Tomb I shouldn't need, and Patchwork Automaton I shouldn't need. I definitely am kind of regretting the Ancestral. I could have just gone Automaton, but all right, they did miss the land drop and have some mines. They are dead. I would agree. We're going to play Workshop, Ironworks, Inspector, and murder them. Kind of a weird game of Magic. We are going to bring in Dismember. It's great. I think they'll probably keep swords in, so I'll leave Sphinx in the board, and then I'll bring in Mightstone. I don't like Chalice on the draw. I don't think I want this. I don't even think I want Tinker. I don't think I want Wasteland. I think I'm just going to do that. Take out the Tinker combo and the Chalice and bring in a bunch of removal. I like that idea. That seems good to me. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I won a couple coin flips in that game, and we got there, so. Okay, what do we got in this one? We've got a basic island and a bunch of artifacts, so let's put this away. Obviously, my opponent is probably Green-White Vessel, which makes them have 4 Archon, 4 Oof post-board, which is just nuts, and 4 Vigor, so it might be very challenging for us to win a post-board match, game, thing. But it is what it is. All right, so this one is a 3-ball, which is very, very dangerous to play this 3-ball, because if my opponent vigors my 2 mana sources in response, I'll be sad. So I might just keep this and put the 3-ball at the bottom. Like, I think the 3-ball is fine to keep it on the draw here if you have a workshop hand. But if I'm going to have a island hand, I think that changes things, because it means all of my mana is tied up in vigorable or mana rocks. They could also, you know, just play Collector Reef on turn 1. Yep. That I don't really mind as yeah, I mean, it's a good draw. That I was gonna say I don't mind that as much because I don't remember what I was gonna say. But yeah. Let's play these 0-drop artifacts. I guess I can play this too. All right, so the bad part about the way this is sequenced is if my opponent vigors, I don't have a Scrap Trawler in play. The good news is I block. That's bad. There you go, Cauldra. Yeah. I don't think I'm supposed to bring in Needle for Cauldra, but it is definitely bad for me. Oh, they have Vigor as well? The last 2 cards are green card Vigor? Oh, no. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to play a nice blocker, but Cauldra will kill me very quickly. Don't have a lot of options. I think all I can do is draw Dismember number 1 or Dismember number 2 or the Might and Weakstone. Those are my only draws, I think. I mean, obviously I have Ancestral. Maybe I do need to just bring in... Maybe I do need to just have Tinker Sphinx anyways. Not that it's super easy for me to cast Tinker Sphinx. All right, well, I'm going to let this hit me for a couple turns. Technically, I actually can kill that with Dismember or the Mightstone, Weakstone. The problem is I don't have a lot of health to do Dismembering. Well, I can't really attack with both, because that lets them get 2 more damage in. But I can get 3 damage in. Got him. Yeah, turn 1 oof is good. I don't think I would have played this game any differently. Obviously, if I had kept Trinisphere, things would have worked out pretty well, but I think it made sense at the time. That's quite a good card against us as well. This deck is going to pose a problem. That's all I can really say. I do think if we draw one of our 3 dismembers right now, we probably are in a winning position. That's not a dismember, but it's not a dismember. Okay. Oh, I tapped too many. All right, well, I have a bunch of blockers. And at some point, I was going to say at some point this gets bigger than this, but this thing will just exile it. So, yeah, get in there, boys. What's the worst they could do? Block. It probably should. They should probably double block on this Patchwork Automaton. They're just going to take it. Well, I don't know. Something bad happens. If they shoot, we block. Ooh, wow. They hit their 3rd land. Cavern on Archon? Cavern on Human. Cavern on Human, hey? White mana. Thalia. Yeah, Thalia is pretty annoying too. Man, this is just not a fun time. I don't think I'm supposed to chump or anything yet. Though, I do have a problem where I have to double block next turn because of the Liberator. Another Wellspring. Okay. Like I said, I hit the dismember. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do it. I think I just have to do it on this, because if I do it on this, I don't lose. Oh no, the Thalia. The Thalia means I can't do it because I need to pay 2. And I can't tap my Ancient Tomb. Yeah. Yeah, I should have blocked. Should have blocked. Okay. Yeah. I should have blocked. I done goofed. Now I don't think I have anything going for me. We'll make them attack right, I guess. Yeah. I guess I needed to block last turn to give myself a dismember out. No, I would have to have blocked with my Patchwork because 2 isn't enough. 2 only gets me to 7, and I have to spend 6. Okay, no, yeah, I should have blocked with a Foundry Inspector last turn. Oh, I have to block. Kind of need this in case I draw Mightstone. Okay, I think they should order the other way, because then the automaton would get... Oh. Oh. Yeah, that was bad. It doesn't die, so I don't get my automaton back. But I mean, I want the automaton in the graveyard, so... Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. They all of their creatures are really good against us. I'm gonna bring this back in. I don't think I'm gonna bring in Chalice. Obviously, Chalice on the play can be good here, but I don't think so. I do think I'm gonna take out at least an Ironworks and a Ravager. I don't know. Something with activated abilities. Maybe that's too many sack outlets taken out. Tinker does also mean I can get a Mightstone, Weakstone. All right, I mean, this is... I'm gonna put a Sphinx in play, and yeah, good life. Wish I had a Citadel, but so this is gonna mean they have to have. I mean, they have Besage. They've already shown Besage. I think what I want to do is Scrap Trawler. No, I just have to sack. I just sack a Ravager and put a Sphinx in play and hope it's good enough. Is there anything better? I can play a Scrap Trawler, but I can play a Scrap Trawler and a Ravager, and then I can at any point get back. Wait, I can play a Scrap Trawler and a Ravager, and then eat the Ravager to get back Lotus, and then load. That doesn't do anything. Oh, wait. I can Scrap Trawler, Ravager, eat the Ravager, bring back Lotus. Lotus, play top and Ravager, sack top, draw a card to bring back Lotus. And then I could still tinker off Ravager and get back a top. All right, I mean, I don't know if that's what I should do, but I'm going to. I guess this exposes me to... this is exposing myself to Vigor? Maybe? Play a Ravager. Ravager, sack on itself. Yes. Put this, bring back this, bring that. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I think this is probably a stupid idea. But I like it. So then I activate top, and then I sack top. And that gets me my Lotus back. And then I draw a card. It could be anything. Even a Sphinx. Now I can just sack my Emerald instead. Or is there a way to continue from here? If I were to tinker for a KCI, doesn't look good. Oh, I could just get a 3-ball. Is that better than a Sphinx? I can always... What if I get a second Scrap Trawler? And then I sack the Ravager to itself and get back top. And I get back Emerald. And then I have... I don't think that's good. I could get a Mystic Forge. I think a Sphinx should be enough. Yeah, I'm going to put a Sphinx in play. This requires them to have a lot of answers, and I can have a pretty fast clock. So instead of having just a Sphinx in play, I've used all of my cards, and I have a Scrap Trawler and a Ravager. So this worked out, but I'm not 100% sure it was correct, because I think if they chose like a really good Vigor timing, I would be very sad. All right. Well, good news is we're not as susceptible to Collect Roof. Bad news is they have a double Mox in hand, which makes me wish I had gone 3-ball. They have a Collector Roof as well. They have a Stone Forge. Okay. I mean, I think a 3-ball has a potential to be good enough. Like, you have a lot of power. Maybe I should have gone 3-ball. If I lose this game, it's because I chose not to go 3-ball. The thing is, if they have Vigor, I sack my Ravager to itself, put the counters on Sphinx, And then, or maybe I sack. Depends on when I get back. Tolarian. That doesn't do anything. Kind of a gross draw. Because I don't get anything from it. But they do have to have Besage You to beat Sphinx. But I feel like if I had gone Trinisphere, I had 6 power. So it would have taken them... They would be at 2 life when they finally... Okay. So they did pitch Vigor Collector Oof. I wonder if they had Vigor last turn. If they had Vigor last turn, they definitely should have gone for it at some point. It's hard to know that. So would I rather... No, I think I just let these both die at the same time. Because then... 2 counters go on my Sphinx. Or would I rather have 3 counters go on my Sphinx? But if I let these both die at the same time, I get to get back Ravager Sensei Top. Is that better than... Sensei Top? Yeah, sacking the Ravager to itself does nothing. I could sack the Scrap Trawler to the Ravager to add an additional counter on my Sphinx. In which case, I would only get back 1 artifact. Which I think that's worse. So I will let this Vigor happen. And I will bring back a... Sensei Top. And a Ravager. I guess I could have bring him back... Yeah. And then modular onto my Sphinx. Definitely regretting not getting Trinisphere. Okay, Ravager. Top. Spin Top. Scrap Trawler, Ichor Wellspring. Wow, that's really good. We basically get to go where we left off here. So I probably want to just draw the Wellspring. No, I just want to hit the Scrap Trawler. 3 mana. Yeah. Okay, I mean, so we might be able to win with like a huge Sphinx next turn if they like tap out and don't have Besage You up. I guess if my opponent draws Besage You, I'm probably losing this game, which is crazy. I should have gone Trinisphere. I think I should have just gone Trinisphere. Give them, you know, we had enough power in play where I could have gone Trinisphere, and I think it would have worked out. You know, this is a learning situation. So, are they going to activate Stoneforge, or they have? I mean, I guess this means that they have a Besage You, right? If you're not activating Stoneforge. Well, I guess you don't have to activate Stoneforge because you can't attack into it. So, all right. The good news is we are not all in on this Sphinx. We are going to continue to do things. So we have Scrap Trawler. And then we have activate top, sacking it to Ravager, bringing back Black Lotus. I guess, yeah, Black Lotus is better. And then we have Black Lotus, and then we have Ichor Wellspring. That brings us an island. And then we have Blue Sacrifice, Wellspring, get a top, draw 2, draw 1 here. Okay, a Workshop. We have enough mana. We technically have a lethal attack. Let's crack this, bring back a top, spin the top. Ironworks Ravager. Okay. I think that's good. Activate top, sack top, bring back Lotus. I guess I didn't need to play Workshop. I mean, Workshop's my best line here, right? So it's fine. Play Lotus. Okay, they don't have a Beseiju, so I was gonna keep going until I couldn't figure out how to go forward anymore. Next, I would go Workshops, Ironworks, sack itself to bring back Scrap Trawler. Ironworks, sack itself, bring back Scrap Trawler. And then I would... Oh, no, that doesn't work. I actually don't know where I am going with this. Maybe this was bad. I thought I could continue. The only way for me to continue is to sack Ravager. Maybe that's fine. So I could go KCI, sack Ravager, counters onto Sphinx, which is lethal, and then brings back a top. And then I play my top, activate top, bring back Black Lotus. And then... Well, then I can get a Ravager off of my top, in which case I can sack my Ironworks and bring back a Trawler, which should let me just go off infinitely, 2 Trawlers. So I think I can go... I think I can probably figure out a way to draw through my deck this turn. Cool. All right, here we go. Trophy match. We've got Zol across the table. Typically a squee player. See if they're still on that. We did win the die roll. Hopefully we can get there. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Chalice is going to hurt me more than help me. But this is definitely a good enough hand, so I'm going to keep this and just go Automaton. I'm going to hold onto the Chalice for 0 here. Don't think I want to play it. I can... Well, if they're on something else besides Squee. I guess there's like... I don't really care about zeros at this point in the game, actually, so maybe I will play it. If they're on, like, Squee, then maybe you want to hit 1, but 1 is not even that good, and then I lose the ability to, like, top. I don't like that very much. See what they have. Okay, Wasteland, so... Doesn't really tell me much. Foundry Inspector. Yeah, I'd rather play Foundry Inspector now, and that gives me a really nice look next turn. Maybe a different kind of deck, though. See what happens. I'd love to take a game 1. I haven't gotten a trophy in this new season yet, so... Okay, Gataxian Probe. You know what I'm up to. What are you up to? You gonna tell me or are you gonna concede? I don't think I need to concede. But we do have a pretty nice board already. We're going to get to play Ironworks into Wellspring, or maybe Wellspring into Ironworks, and then we're going to have a lot going on for us here. Okay, blue-white and swords. Wow. Okay, so I don't know what's going on anymore. There's no Luris, so maybe something else. I do have to use my blue mana to do... I don't know if I want to, like, KCI, sack Chalice, get Ichor Wellspring going. I don't really think I like that very much. I don't know what Chalice is protecting me from, really. I think I'm just going to play Wellspring. They might still have Force, too. Guess this is... I mean, they know my hand besides this, which is the card I probably am most interested in resolving. Obviously, I can't play more zeros, though, so I don't know exactly how good Wellspring is. My opponent might... Maybe they counter it to keep me from doing things. I doubt it, unless they have double force. I was a lot happier before I lost my Inspector, to be honest. I don't think the Inspector was, like, really doing a ton, but it was... is integral to my beatdown plan here. I don't think I'm going to have enough artifacts. That is, I guess, a good reason to play Ichor Wellspring, is maybe I can get up to 6 damage this turn and then 8 damage the following turn if I'm lucky. They are pretty far off from, like, with Chalice in play, they're pretty far off from being able to swords this Patchwork Automaton, which is really nice. Another Ironworks is definitely a bad draw. Oh, wait, this only got up to 4. Okay, well, means it's probably 2 attacks, seeing as I'll definitely hit for 5 next turn. I mean, depends. What are they? Okay, they're on Jeskai, and this is a zombie wizard, so now they can flashback swords and pay, which is really bad for me. 3 ball. All right, we're definitely going to just go with the Ironworks, which they know about. And then we're going to sack the Wellspring. Scrap Trawler. Feels like they're F6'd. I think I'm just going to get a 3 ball. Yeah, they are F6'd. All right, so now they need to hit a land to even cast a spell off of Arcanist. And if they do, they can't pay the ward cost. So that should put me in a great spot. And the reason that I'm okay with Chalice going is because Free Ball should help against Moxen. Obviously, there was a ton of risk involved in this Trinisphere cast. If they just counter it, things are really bad for me. But I think things are kind of bad for me if they don't, if I just like let the game go as it is right now. With opponent being able to swords my 1 threat. Didn't really like that outlook. And we still have, you know, like, we can still do things through a Trinisphere. I'm thinking like next turn maybe we go Mishra's Workshop out of Scrap Trawler, and then maybe we tinker, we sack our Scrap Trawler for mana, and tinker for, I don't know, God Pharaoh statue. But they can play a 0 drop, or they can play a 1 drop with this 3 ball, but they can't swords this. Because this, they would need to pay 3 and pay the ward. So they're going to try, I think, and then they'll concede. Yeah, so they're going to try this, and then they're going to concede because this ward is like, this ward is really good. So they're going to pay for this, but then the ward is going to trigger, and they can't pay for the ward, which is going to counter, and then they're going to die on the swing back. So an attempt was made, but it's not going to get there. I am just going to attack and win. All right, we have 1 more game needed to get the juicy trophy. With the rearranged prize structure, Magic Online has successfully dealt with the problem of win traders. So the old prize structure is back, where you get a ton of chests for a 5/0. I am going to... I like Soul Guide Lantern here. I dislike Chalice on the draw, at least. And then I would like to have a Might Stone and a Weak Stone, but I don't think I want Dismember. My opponent's going to have Dreadhorde and Ragavan and maybe Iconoclast. I'd like to have this answer in my deck, but I don't want to go crazy. I might actually just take out Tinker in this matchup. I don't know. I don't know if my opponent will end up like Pyroblasting my Scrap Trawlers. That would be pretty annoying, but they didn't see any blue Scrap Trawlers in game 1, so they'll probably not keep in Pyroblast. So I think with this last card, I will just bring in 1 Dismember. Could be stupid to take out Tinker. I could see it. I just don't know if that's what I want to be doing. Like, it's kind of unlikely for my opponent to have Flusters or Pyros, so maybe it's fine, but I have to keep adjusting to the fact that this is a Mystic Forge. Keep forgetting. Unfortunately, this hand is no good. If this hand had a Workshop, I would probably snap it off. Yep. That's an interesting choice now on what do I want to bottom. I think it's just this Karn, though I do have the ability to play this Karn pretty easily. All I need to do is draw any non-Workshop mana source. I mean, they are probably a Wasteland deck. So bottoming second workshop is a little greedy, but I'm down to get a little greedy here. I think that makes sense to me. We have extra draws. I think we can get away with it. They are a wasteland deck, right? We saw wasteland on turn 1 last game, so definitely on the greedier side of actions on this turn, but we do have a maybe I can't. Maybe I can't. I don't know. Trying to think about it. Like, this card's not even the best. Oh, this is perfect. Name Urza Saga. Name Urza Saga. Name Urza Saga. Name Urza Saga. Oh no, they named Mishra's Workshop. Wait, that means I play turn 1 Karn though. And I drew a third Mishra's Workshop. I think I'm going to play Inspector over Karn. I guess I could counter this Lotus as well. I think this puts me in a better spot moving forward. I drew all 4 workshops. I bottomed a workshop in this game. High value Alpine Moon. Wow. Okay. This is something I didn't expect. I did get paid off for bottoming a workshop. You know, I just drew 2 more workshops, so. The bad news is, like, this hand isn't, this board isn't inspiring. If it was a workshop, it's a little bit better. I think there's, like, some value in going Karn on turn 1, but, like, they're going to play maybe a threat. And then I'm not really in a great spot. I don't really think it's strong. Like, I don't think Karn is bad enough to, like, board out. But I also, you know, if I'm going to use my Black Lotus, I want it to be really good. So Karn for a crypt would be nice, but obviously I don't have the real mana to do that. I don't think I'm allowed to spin either because of how low mana I am. I guess there's no harm in, well, let's wait and draw. Yeah, I thought for sure this would name Urza Saga, but naming Mishra's Workshop, I guess, is something you can do, and it did a lot of work. It will help fix me for this Karn later, but... Second top. Okay, well, now we're actually in a spot where if we find a Patchwork, it's an infinite Patchwork. So that's something. I think I will just draw the first one in case that's the case. And then we'll spin if we still need to. Okay. Soul Ring for free is actually even better, right? Because now I have Karn. And I will expose my Karn to Lightning Bolt to get a Tormod script. I do have access to a God Pharaoh statue. I don't have any mana, though. I am going to hold back my Inspector to maybe block. But this will help me play around like something really bad happening. Shattering Spree. Ancestral is probably the best one it counters. I guess I could go and get a Chalice on 1. Okay, yep. Okay, well, yeah. The good news here is if they preordain Monkey. Okay, so they can actually kill my Karn. It's definitely not good for me. Don't think I was supposed to play around that. The whole Swordsman in the yard, not a huge deal with the Tormod script in play. We are drawing a top. Maybe we can spin for a different draw in our upkeep here. The good news is they didn't, like, draw my top. Let's spin for a different draw. And we have 4 mana, so we have a Patchwork. So if we had still had that Foundry Inspector, we would have had an infinite, and we would have had it protected from swords from the yard. But all I have is tops, so... The bad news here is that they do get to steal a top because all I have is tops. The fact that they have an Alpine Moon is actually saving the game for them. If they hadn't had an Alpine Moon, I mean, maybe that doesn't actually matter. The good news is I at least stop the swords, and that will give me some comforts. Means they probably can't even attack, right? Because if I stop the swords and then they play a Ragavan or a Dreadhorde attack, that's really bad for them. Oh, they have energy flux. Huh. Okay. It's not bad for me. I get to sack my Wellspring. Soul Ring pays for itself. Hope they attack in. I guess they won't attack in. Alright, so I'm gonna draw with this top. Just gonna draw me a top. And then I probably have to just hit their graveyard. And then stack it like this. I know I'm drawing a top, so I don't think that matters. And then there's no reason to have this not pay for itself right now. Oh god, am I drawing a third top right now? Well, not much I can really do about that. The good news is I have this Alpine Moon workshop, so I can actually pay for my automaton. If I didn't have the Alpine Moon, this Flux would just wipe my board. So I don't think I'm going to be able to win this game, though. I don't think I can attack, really, because that opens me up to getting Preordain comboed out. I don't know what I need to do to win this game. I would need maybe a Tolarian Academy, play double top. Maybe if I like get a Tolarian Academy and then I get, I don't know, an Inspector and then combo kill my opponent, maybe. Oh, they had your Strip Mine. Okay. Well, I'm almost out of mana, so that's bad. That's definitely bad. My opponent has an Energy Flux in their deck. It's kind of an odd card to have in Jeskai, but this is a... Oh, that is a march on my Soul Ring so that I can no longer pay for my automaton. Okay. Yep. This doesn't really do anything, so I'm gonna just pass. If they hit a cantrip, I will concede. They don't hit a can. Oh, they have a monkey, right? They have a monkey. Okay, I'm not gonna try to concede to monkey. I would concede to cantrip. Monkey, I feel like has plenty of bad hits. Obviously, mana is good. A mana vault would have been nice. I definitely would have liked a mana vault. For them, it doesn't really do much to play a mana vault as they have to sack it. But I guess they should probably have used this treasure token too. I'm not super... Is this my opponent's Alpine Moon fixing me for Ancestral? Sure. And I missed on lands anyways. Okay. The good news is that Energy Flux doesn't beat, if I just kill them in one turn. The bad news is that the stupid moon makes it so I can't have enough mana. Yeah, I guess you could use the mana vault to pay for, well, now you just use the mana vault to pay for itself, which is not what you wanted to do. Okay, sure. Yep, you got it. My opponent fixing me for blue is funny. All right, they're just going to play Ragavan now and hit me for 1. I think we're still okay if we just draw lands. Like, Ancient Tombs are so good right now. If I can go draw a land and play a Wellspring, then it's going to sack and draw me another card in the next turn. And all we need to really do is put together a Heart Clan Ironworks kill all in one turn, which, I mean, that is hard to do, but just need to draw a land. Very unfortunate that I haven't drawn a land after resolving Ancestral Recall. I wanna know. Okay, they should let this Mana Vault die. Probably should just let this treasure token die. I don't know why we're doing all this work to keep them around. Okay, all right, good, sweet, awesome. Again, Cantrip is just game winning, but anything else we get to continue playing here. I'm sure my opponent will hit a land with this Ragavan after all that we've gone through. They hit a Lodestone Golem, which actually is probably worth them playing. Play a Lodestone, pay for a Lodestone every turn. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to draw a Lodestone Golem, but I also didn't really want my opponent to play a Lodestone Golem. And I drew a 4th top and no land. All right, I'm going to play this top and draw with top and hope to draw land. I guess that doesn't help me. Okay, none of this helps me. I just did not have any lands after I drew my 4 workshops. Okay, so we have an Energy Flux. That's interesting. I still don't think I want a Chalice. Do I want a Tinker? No, not really. I think this is how I want the setup to be. Yeah, this is fine. All right. 5th round, game 3. Can I get 5 2-1s? Yeah, that's probably a keep. It's not a great hand, but I think it has some nice versatility here. I'll probably, if they don't play a creature on turn 1, I'll probably bait with an Ironworks, and then I can either kill a creature or draw 2 off of this Mightstone. I really like this card. This card's sweet. The fact that their removal spell can also be a divination is just beautiful. Also a 5-drop, so it returns Ironworks, which is nice. I guess I don't have any reason to play a Pearl because it's not like they have a Gut Shot or anything in their deck. So I'll probably just hold the Pearl. I mean, if they have a Force on the Automaton, I guess then things get a little annoying. But all right, they kept a 6 card on the draw. Let's see what they've got for us here. It's not like a blocking. Oh, they have a Probe. So now they know my hand, so there's no baiting anything. If they want to counter it, they'll counter it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's where we're at. Taxine Probe. Flooded Strand. Do you play a Ragavan? Yeah, so are they baiting a Mightstone on this Ragavan? Is that what's happening? Oh, I drew a Dismember. Okay, well, in that case, I will go Pearl. Can't use the Mightstone to play Dismember, unfortunately. I don't think I want to get my... I mean, I'm going to go to 14, and then I'm going to go to 10. It's kind of bad. But I want to attack this turn, right? I kind of want this Mightstone to draw me cards. Maybe that's asking for too much. See what they think about this KCI. Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to dismember this. Okay. Yep. Get in there. This does expose these 2 things to a Shattering Spree, but I don't think that matters very much. Is this going to be a new monkey? Or are we just shattering on Ironworks here? Okay, we're just shattering Ironworks. That's fine. Is that it? Oh, they have a wasteland as well. Okay. Well, that puts me off of Mightstone, which I don't like. Moxen? Scrap Trawler. That's not a bad draw. Definitely a card that I wish was in play earlier, but I don't have very much more life to use. Oh, they have Force. Wow, they have a lot of things. Mental Misstep, Force. I mean, we still have a 4/4. They're at 9. We're at 8. They have 1 land, 3 cards. It's not lost yet. Brainstorm into a fetch would be bad. Again, this costs 3 mana to remove. Oh my gosh. It's free. It's not actually free, but it's a nice one. That's a nice one. I will take a 5/0 with the aggro KCI deck. This is the Zeus creation. Oh, wait. That's the wrong deck. No! I guess I won't take a 5/0 picture with this. I will have to take a 5/0 picture over here. So that's unfortunate. I will have to make the 5/0 picture with the other thing. But anyways, this deck is sweet. I don't think this sideboard is the way I would like it. And I didn't get to do the infinite patchwork kill at all, which made me kind of sad. We actually did a lot of KCI stuff. I'm not convinced islands and blue cards are correct, though we did win with Tinker once. A lot to think about, really. I would like there to be more. I guess this like has more interaction technically than my KCI deck, but I feel like my KCI deck is more explosive. It's not necessarily more explosive. I mean, you did really see that we went 2-1 in every match because you don't have a lot going on to fight your opponent's decks. So I don't know. I do like the Mightstone Weakstone. That card's sweet. Maybe I don't know. I kind of think that all shops decks might just want this card. It just feels really good. 5 is a lot of mana, I do agree, but the removal spell split divination that also makes mana is really, really nice. Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. More to come. I definitely like this idea. This automaton is you saw how annoying this card is to remove. Super annoying to remove. And we didn't even get to do the coolest thing, which is 2 tops and a Foundry Inspector is an infinite automaton. Yeah, thank you for watching this video. I'm going to hopefully get a bunch of videos saved up and put out so that we don't miss any new videos on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. I will see you then.